Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. We're just going to give a couple minutes or 1 minute for folks to log in, and I'm going to launch a poll question. If you want to answer this question. Great. Wow. We've got South America, Asia, Europe, Africa, North America. Wonderful. Welcome. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for joining today. I want to introduce you to the team, and I also want to let you know that you can put your questions in the Q&A, and we will be answering those at the end. My name is Sarah Goodroad, and I'm the program coordinator for the Mortensen Center. And I'm joined today with my team, Laura McDonald, who is the managing director, and Carlos Salvinelli, who's the teaching assistant professor, and he will be teaching this summer if you sign up for the certificate. And then I'd like to turn it over to Evan Thomas. He is the director for the Mortensen Center.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. We're excited to share with you our program. The Mortensen Center in Global Engineering is based at the University of Colorado in Boulder, and we specialize in training engineers and technologists and project managers to work in the field of global development and global engineering. And so we're going to share with you today our online graduate degree in global engineering. And you don't have to be an engineer to enroll. We've really designed this program to teach some project management skills, some technical skills, and some relational skills to work in the field of global engineering and global development. I'm Evan Thomas. I'm a professor of environmental engineering here at CU Boulder. I'm also an alum of the University of Colorado, and I lead the Mortensen Center in Global Engineering, which is made up of a diverse and talented group of faculty and staff and professionals. We operate programs now in about 15 countries around the world, including in the fields of water, sanitation, household energy, rural infrastructure, impact evaluation, agricultural technologies, food security, and data science. And on the call today.
Oh, there we are. We got Evan back. I'm not sure what happened. You're back, though.
And we have project managers that manage programs all over the world, including in Rwanda, Ethiopia, Kenya, the Democratic Republic of the Congo. We even have a new project in Armenia. What is global engineering? Global engineering is a complement to the fields of global development, development economics, and global health. As engineers and technologists, we work on things like developing standards for technologies, using system science to evaluate an entire system around delivering something like a water or sanitation service. We conduct impact evaluations, which are experimental and quasi-experimental studies so that you can get publishable objective evidence on if something is working or not. We develop and apply technologies like instrumentation and remote sensing, and we work with social enterprise to introduce things like pay for performance contracting so that we can actually sustain basic services globally. As engineers in global engineering, we also work on things like housing and settlements and structures. And of course, a focus of global development and global engineering is environmental health, water, sanitation, and household energy. And then, of course, education, how we train engineers to work in this space. The Mortenson Center in Global Engineering Resilience combines education, research, and partnerships to positively impact vulnerable people and their environments by improving development tools, policy, and practice. And our vision is a world where everyone has safe water, sanitation, energy, food, and infrastructure. Our program includes a teaching component, which we're here to share today, including a graduate certificate that's on campus, an online certificate that's online, and professional master's degrees in civil and environmental engineering. Both the on-campus certificate and the graduate certificate form a little bit less than half of a full master's degree. So students that enroll in our certificates can earn just the certificate, or they can continue on to a full master's degree. We also do extensive research, and the faculty that teach you in the classroom are also the ones conducting this research globally. And we're practitioners. We run projects all over the world, and we measure our impact through everything from publications to alumni, placements, engagement, and ultimately direct measures of the impact of the programs that we and our faculty and our students, and of course our alumni, are running. The curriculum introduces engineering students to the historical causes and present conditions of global inequality. Poverty isn't just an accident, it happened for a reason, and we have to understand that historical context if we're going to contribute to solving it. We also look at where the opportunities as well as the limitations are for engineers to engage in global development, and we seek to empower students and professionals to engage in action-oriented but historically contextualized approach to engineering. And overall, provide the necessary tools for engineers and professionals to identify where and how engineering plays a role in reducing global poverty. The online certificate is targeted at working professionals all over the world, whether you're here in the United States or anywhere else in the world, so that you can learn the relevant and appropriate skills that are in demand today in the global development sector without the cost and complexity of a full-time in-person attendance. So we really are trying to come to you. This online program teaches the fundamentals of global engineering and gives you some exposure to other relevant areas such as global health, development economics, and impact evaluation, while building specific skills in data analysis, project management, and systems thinking. And we have a capstone that includes a hands-on remote practicum opportunity where you are working as a team embedded inside a global development or global engineering program. Up to 9 credits of the 12 credits that constitute the certificate can be transferred into the University of Colorado for a full master's degree. So essentially, you start taking classes with us, you get the bug, you want to finish a full master's degree. We just make sure that you enroll as a master's student before you've taken more than 9 credits. And that means that all of the online classes you've taken with us roll into a full master's program of 30 credits. The online certificate we take rolling applications, but we start students as a cohort. So we want to start our next group of online students this fall. The deadline to apply is May 1st, so it's a couple weeks out. And the admissions requirements include a bachelor's degree in a relevant field, and we're very open to how we define a relevant field. English proficiency, of course, we are teaching in English. And we look at your transcripts, your personal statements, your resume, and your letters of recommendation. And I'm sorry, I said we were starting the next cohort in the fall. We started this summer, so you can actually apply in just a couple of weeks. We'll notify you as late as a day after the deadline, if you get it in under the deadline. And you would actually start taking courses with us online this summer on June 5th. The course structure is the certificate structure is a total of 12 credit hours. Again, a full master's degree is 30 credits, a certificate is 12 credits, and you can transfer 9 into the master's degree, but you really just enroll, and then we make sure the full certificate counts for those of you that might be interested in continuing. There are 2 core courses that make up the certificate. One is Global Development for Engineers. That's a semester-long 3-credit class. And the other is our practicum, which is formatted as a class, but it's really embedded inside a global development program. And then the other 6 credits are a mix and match of 1 credit, 5-week-long courses. So they're mini courses, and you take 6 of them in total. These are the modules that we're offering over the next couple semesters. This summer, we're offering a 1-credit class, an Introduction to Humanitarian Aid, which is synchronous, meaning you'll be on Zoom live with Carlo. Data Analytics for Development, also synchronous, a few weeks later. And then Introduction to Development Economics, taught by a retired World Bank economist later in the summer. And you can see that these are staggered so that you're not taking all of the classes at the same time, although there is some overlap. And then by next spring, we also have Study Design and Impact Evaluation, Project Management, and Introduction to Global Health, which I teach. In the fall, you take Global Development for Engineers with Dr. Rita Cleese, who retired from USAID and the World Bank. The practicum program provides an opportunity for our students to integrate their knowledge and apply those theories and principles to an actual development program. And our online students will do this remotely, but they're still very much engaged with a global development partner. And we've had students working in about 30 countries around the world over the past few years of the Mortensen Center program. Tuition is fixed. It's based on whether you're an in-state student here in Colorado, which I don't think many of you are, and a little bit more for out-of-state students. You can enroll in 3 credit hours per semester. So really it takes about a year for 4 semesters total, or sorry, a little bit more than a year. Fall, spring, summer, and then another fall to complete the online certificate of 12 credits. We do offer scholarships for online students. We first require you to apply and be accepted so that we can have a merit-based application process. And then we do a merit-based evaluation, merit and needs-based evaluation of scholarships. And the scholarships can go all the way up to almost the full cost of the online certificate. And we can share more about the scholarship programs after we accept our next cohort of students. These are the links, and Sarah will share these directly in the chat, but these are the links to apply for the online graduate certificate in global engineering through the University of Colorado Continuing Education Program. And you can also get in touch with both Sarah and Laura for more detailed personal questions and follow-up. So that's our presentation, pretty fast and sweet, and we're happy to open this up for questions for the audience.
Yes, so Evan, I'm going to drop the links into the chat for everybody. So here's the link for the online certificate webpage, which contains links to these other links that I'm going to give you as well. So the second link that I'm putting in here is how to apply. And the third link is where you would find the application on the continuing education page. Good. So does anyone have any questions? Okay, we've got one question here. Okay, the question is, the English proficiency test, must this be taken before May 1? Is there any other equivalent that could weigh equally the same? And what are the other options? So Laura or Carlo, do you want to answer that, or do you want me to answer that?
Yeah, I can answer that. Yeah, the English proficiency must be proven before, so by the day you apply, before you start. There are different ways you can do that through a TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo score, and there are scores specified in our webpage that say what you need to get to be accepted into the certificate. Also, if you prove that you have studied or lived in a country where English is the native language, so you don't need to present any proof or score. You would be accepted for that. So as I say, the information is shared on the webpage, but please reach out if you have any specific question about this, and we can look at your specific situation, and I'll be happy to answer and tell you what to do.
Thank you, Carlo. And yes, that information is on that first web link that I dropped into the chat. If you scroll toward the bottom of that in the blue bar, it shows all of the scores for the various platforms that Carlo mentioned, if that's helpful. And I'm also going to put my email in the chat. If you have any questions, you can feel free to email me directly, and I can answer your question, or I can direct you to Carlo or Laura or Evan to answer your questions as well. Does anybody else have a question?
We're happy you're here with us today, so please feel free to jump in with a question in the Q&A, or of course, as Sarah just said, you can always just get in touch with us by email to discuss the program and your own interest.
Sarah, you're on mute.
Sorry, it's the first time I've used Zoom. Just kidding. So I have a question about scholarships. So scholarships are available. We also provide, if your company offers professional development funds, then we have a limited number of matching professional funds that we offer as well. So in order to, you do need to apply for the program first. Again, the deadline to apply is right around the corner. It's May 1st. You'll be notified that you're accepted in the program, and at the time that you're notified, you'll receive a link to apply for the scholarship. And you'll want to complete that right away, and you'll receive notification of that, and then you can decide to enter the program if you would like, if it's dependent on whether you get a scholarship. So you will have time to make that decision.
I saw another question that just came in on what the nature or what are these synchronous online classes like? And Carlo, could you speak to how students engage with faculty during the course and outside of course hours?
Yes, of course. So this is a very important point. So this is an online certificate. The classes are remote, but is as you could see in the presentation, they're all synchronous. And we selected that modality because we think is the best quality we can offer. There are two types of courses that are all synchronous, but some are hybrid. So you would join, you would Zoom in class, and at the same time we would have in-person students. So you would join class together with our student from here from CU Boulder. And there are other courses that are offered just online, especially the one offered during the summer. But again, these are also synchronous. So you would Zoom in, the instructor would be every week meeting with you for lectures, and also available for office hour or meeting as needed. Thank
you, Carlo. Another question, if you could answer, do which is, do I receive personalized attention in these classes?
Yeah, you do, for sure. It's like being here in class in person. You're just not here, but yeah, both, as I say, you will have the opportunity to join the lecture synchronously and also meet with the instructor anytime, get feedback about the assignment, and have office hours. So the answer is yes.
Great. Let's see. Here's a question. What if I'm not ready to start in May? Can I apply for a different start date?
So we decided to, as Evan said, having a rolling application going on, but we want to start with the whole cohort in summer. So if you're planning to do the certificate, but you cannot start this summer, I would tell you to apply for this summer, and then we can just defer your starting date to fall or the following spring. So the best option is to start in summer with the rest of the student, but if you really want to take the certificate and you cannot start in summer, that's possible as well. You should apply to start in summer anyway, and then reach out to me, and we make sure we put together the right course plan that's aligned with your other commitment.
Great. Laura or Carlo, could you talk a little bit more about the practicum and what that entails?
So yeah, I can give some general information, and then maybe we can have some example of project, the practicum project. So this is so the student would mostly work with a faculty here at CU, but supervised with with a professional in global development. They would be working in a real project in which the Mortenson Center is involved on, and working with our partners in country. So the practicum is completely remotely. You don't need to travel anywhere. As for the rest of the courses, the duration, I mean, there is a minimum duration, but it can also be extended depending on the interest of the student, on the length of the project, and is a great opportunity to have a professional experience, get in touch with professionals here at the Mortenson Center and with our partners. And those are our relationship that can last longer than the practicum. So that's meant to be a starting point. Is there any other specific question about the practicum, the projects, or?
No, just the question was just general as you answered. There is a question that came in that Evan, I'm gonna just read your answer, which was, can you enlighten us on the method of payment for tuition and fees? And so tuition is paid through the University of Colorado Registrar's Office, which can be done by check, wire transfer, or credit card. But if you get a scholarship, that amount is subtracted from the tuition bill before your payment is due. Anybody have any other questions?
One relevant question that just arrived is, what are the qualifications of the faculty who are teaching these courses and the backgrounds? So I can speak for Introduction to Development Economics. That's taught by Gunnar Platais, who has a long background of several decades working as a development economist for the World Bank. Our Data Analytics for Development course is also taught by faculty with extensive experience in that area, who's based on our team. And then Evan and Carlo, do you want to speak to your backgrounds and why you're teaching the courses you teach?
Sure. So I'm actually an aerospace engineer. My PhD is in aerospace engineering, but I'm also a professional engineer in environmental engineering. I also have a master's in public health and an MBA in global business. And all of those seem a little different, but they're all relevant to the field of global development, where I've developed technologies, programs, business models, as well as run large-scale health intervention programs in the field of water, sanitation, household energy, and water resources. And so what I teach in this sequence includes the course Introduction to Global Health for Engineers, which includes covering an introduction to epidemiology, biostatistics, impact evaluation, study design, and reviewing some of the most current literature in how technology interventions can improve health, whether you're talking about a cook stove or a water filter or a anti-malarial bed net.
Yeah, and I'll give some information about my background as well. I have a bachelor in industrial engineering and a master in engineering management from the University of Brescia in Italy, where I am from. And then I got a PhD in geological engineering from the Missouri University of Science and Technology. And during my PhD, I conducted research on household water treatment system for underserved communities, so mostly focused on WASH. In between my master and my PhD, I spent 6 years working as a practitioner for international NGO. I worked for the Italian Agency for Development and Cooperation, and most of my experience working as a practitioner is in Central America, especially Guatemala. And there I was designing and implementing international development project. I coordinated emergency response effort, humanitarian aid, and facilitated international policy dialogues. So the project I was managing are kind of aligned with the courses I teach. I started working here at CU at the Morrison Center 6 years ago, and I teach several of the courses that are offered as part of our master. And these include project management, which is what I used to do as a practitioner, impact evaluation, and introduction to humanitarian aid. It's a kind of a different sector compared to the development sector, but due to the change in intensity and frequency and duration of emergency, we now have to see how these two sectors work together. So the first step is to understand how they both work, and the introduction to humanitarian aid course aimed to that, to give you an exposure to what are the funding mechanism, principles, and standards in the humanitarian aid sector.
And then last but not least, Rita Cleves, who teaches global development for engineers, that first core course, has a background working for the U.S. Agency for International Development and for the World Bank before coming to join us at CU as one of our instructors and the leader of that course. Depending on your area of interest and the focus of your practicum, you may be working with Carlo, Evan, or myself as the internal CU supervisor, and then with one of our wide range of partners and host organizations for the practicum. And my background is in human geography and environmental engineering, with a focus on water and sanitation, but also now in the research I do within the Mortensen Center, I have extensive experience with project management as well as rural infrastructure.
Thank you. And I did put also in the chat just the link to our webpage that lists all of our faculty and all of our staff if you'd like to peruse that further. So I do have a question and Abdurrahman, please let me know if we don't get the answer to this quite right. But I think you're asking that you're getting your hydraulic engineering certificate in September, and I think you're asking if you should still apply by the May 1 deadline. And so, as Carlo mentioned, it would be good, yes, apply by May 1. If you're not able to take this, start the certificate in the summer, to go ahead and we just would defer your enrollment to the fall.
I will add, however, that because the requirement for entry is a bachelor's degree, we would have to look into whether you are able to meet the requirements without conferral of your degree. So we would have to follow up with you if you want to email us. And then with respect to the list of courses, those courses are listed on the first link that Sarah shared on the website for the online certificate, and there are links to each course description on that webpage.
Thank you, Laura. Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to share that main link one more time to our webpage, since I dropped a lot of links in there. So this main link will get you everywhere you need to go. And again, I'll just, because I know things can get lost in chat, I'm going to put my email in the chat one more time. And do feel free to reach out after the webinar if you have any questions about applying or about the program. All right, give 15 more seconds to put any last minute burning questions into the chat. Oh, we've got one. If I'm a foreign military officer currently serving, would I be able to get their certificate through remote learning?
Yep, makes no big difference to us where you are or what you're doing. It's an online program for anybody in the world. Well, thank you all for joining us today. And as Sarah said, we're happy to follow up with you with any questions directly. Thanks again for your interest in joining us.